Today, I'll show you the most unusual car modifications, from blatantly rustic and crazy to incredibly beautiful and aggressive vehicles worked on by entire corporations. And at the end, I'll show you the funniest project, where guys decided to save on a Tesla Cybertruck and made an equivalent for $1,000. The result will surprise you. And I'll start with outright craziness. I think no one will be surprised by extravagant rims and hubcaps that mimic the spinning of a spinner. But these guys decided to go much further, making the rear wheels out of 6 wheels. And here's a more refined version of the spinner. As you can see, all wheels are in use.
God.
The only question remains, who will this? The idea of stretching limousines only in length is a common practice. But E-RWB decided to approach this issue in a completely new way and created the wide Limo, the wildest limousine in the world. E-RWB achieved this by welding the bodies of 2 cars after stretching them in length and width. This allowed the creation of this amazing blue monster. Inside the white Limo, there is room for 8 people, including the driver. There is also a drink bar, creating a real entertainment atmosphere and a full dance floor. What else do you need for a party? Another unconventional tuning project, creating a food truck from a real space shuttle? Initially, the vehicle was planned as a non-standard limousine, but was subsequently modified into a full-fledged cafe on wheels. The body was made from a real decommissioned DC-3 airplane, which they managed to buy for almost $100,000. A big Block 427 Chevy was used to move this transportation wonder, giving it not only external extravagance, but also enough power for movement. This combination made it unique in terms of design and functionality. But if you think that bright and strange tuning is the preserve of crazy loners, you're greatly mistaken. Decotora is a whole direction in Japanese automotive culture. These are trucks decorated with lights, which appeared in Japan in the 70s thanks to drivers transporting fish. This movement combines chrome, bulbs, and crazy decor covering the entire vehicle. Owners do not skimp on lights, trying to use whole neon panels, LED strips, and garlands. This turns the trucks into bright and original objects, attracting attention both on the roads and at special exhibitions. And yes, these colorful monsters really move on public roads, though significantly reducing the number of lights turned on. But let's talk about something really powerful and insane. For example, the Mace project. It was named after the Russian ballistic missile, which already adds to the ambience. This is a Lamborghini Huracan that was decided to be supplemented with modest precision turbo 881 turbines to reach a power of 3,000 horsepower. To provide such power, it was necessary to abandon the factory clutch, transmission, and drives. For such a level of power, special components were needed. Even the wheel hubs had to be custom designed, as standard ones simply would not withstand such loads. Although I remind you, we were already talking about a Lamborghini supercar, for safety, a carbon fiber roll cage was installed in the car, although the interior was left in its original state. The project ideologue's goal is to participate in numerous drag races and speed festivals. And it makes sense. After all, why do you need a car with 3,000 horsepower if you're not planning to use it to its full potential in races? In 2015, the first models of Bilenkin Vintage were released, presented at the International Auto Show in Dubai. These coupes are based on the BMW 3 Series E92 chassis. Although the power frame from the Bilenkin coupe remains the same, most components of the donor vehicle are replaced with new factory parts. Modification options for the 2-door 3 Series, including the M3, are available for customers to choose the model that suits them. However, the main changes concern the exterior. The design development process was conducted in accordance with leading automotive industry standards, starting with numerous sketches, then 3D modeling and creating a full-size clay model. Molds for the new body elements were made on CNC machines, and the parts themselves were made of fiberglass. The interior also received a rich retro-style decoration with the option to customize according to the client's wishes using virtually any materials. At the start of sales, the price of each car was $150,000, with some models now exceeding $250,000. But tuning isn't always about sports cars. What if you take a Smart for 2 and pump up this little stool? Of course, why not? Thought Brabus. At first glance, the price of €53,000 for a microcar may seem high, But the smart Brabus Ultimate 125 is a miniature wonder with 125 horsepower, equipped with 18-inch wheels and an exclusive body kit. It looks maximally aggressive, like a feral black Pomeranian baring its teeth. There are many crazy body kits and tuning types for the legendary Supra A80. However, it's safe to say that VeilSide created something truly amazing. A body kit included in the 4509 GTR package, which turns the Supra into a stylish coupe resembling a Bentley Continental GT. Almost everything changes: the hood, bumper, side skirts, fenders. The car seems to be assembled from scratch. You can also notice familiar headlights and rear lights from the Audi R8, which fit perfectly under this tuning. In addition to the body kit, the VeilSide Supra also receives a significant increase in engine power of the 2JZ, now delivering 680 horsepower and 745 Nm of torque. A very worthy tuning option. At first glance, the Mercedes Vito 109 Mixto may seem unsuitable for tuning, but the Hartmann company decided to rethink this stereotype and proved that there are practically no cars that cannot be tuned and modernized. The result of their work is the Hartmann VP Spirit model. This vehicle underwent significant changes both in exterior and interior. It was equipped with 19-inch wheels, wrapped in 9.65-inch wide tires, and was also complemented by a sporty body kit. As a result of these changes, the vehicle was transformed and became completely unlike the factory version. Originally a family car, it turned into a sports car on steroids. Now, all that remains is to work on the feeling to be not just seen. This is an example of what I think ideal tuning should look like. Hennessey used the Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 equipped with a 6.2-liter V8 engine, which had an output of 659 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque, as the basis for the Exorcist project, which literally sounds like expelling the devil. The same engine is also used in the Corvette Z06. Hennessey undertook significant modernization of this devil, replacing the cooling system, installing a new cylinder head with a new camshaft, and adding a new stainless steel exhaust system. Additionally, the guys heavily modified the engine control unit's firmware. The result of all these changes was a significant increase in power to an impressive 1,014 horsepower and 965 pound-feet of torque. This project turned the Camaro into a real road monster, representing something more than just a sports car with a small aggressive body kit. And this is indicative, stylishly looks, cool drives, and what more could you want from tuning? The Fiat 500 Abarth is a model already famous among fans of small cars. The name Abarth is not just an empty sound for them, as it is a brand known for its tuning versions of many cars. However, for those who strive for even more power, there is a studio specializing in deep modernization of small cars, Pogea Racing. Among their model range is a fascinating model named Eris. This little Abarth transformed not only externally thanks to a more aggressive body kit, but also underwent serious technical changes. Its 1.4-liter turbocharged engine was completely reworked. As a result, the car acquired a power of 404 horsepower and 328 pound-feet of maximum torque. The vehicle accelerates to 62 miles an hour in just 4.7 seconds, and its top speed is 180 miles an hour. All this in a tiny car from which you wouldn't expect even a third of the power put into it by this tuning studio. Truly impressive. Smart from Brabus could only dream of this, although the sizes are similar. It's really amazing, but some owners of Bentley Bentaygas start thinking about how to give their luxury vehicle a more expressive look. Although, how much more expressive can it get? But if there is a demand, there will always be suppliers. Lumma Design presented an astonishing tuning project called Lumma CLR B900, which completely changes the appearance of this luxury SUV. The result barely resembles the factory model of the Bentayga. The SUV underwent radical changes in appearance, acquiring a more aggressive and stylish design. The tuning includes modified front and rear bumpers, unique door sills, and wide wheel arches. Additionally, the vehicle is equipped with a new exhaust system, and its appearance is complemented by huge wheels and luxurious body kit elements. The Bentley's interior remains unchanged, as its powertrain already delivers impressive power and represents a masterpiece of technical art. The Mercedes-AMG G63 is already a powerful and expressive SUV in its own right. However, when you add tuning and the company Mansory to this formula, the vehicle can become a real monster, capable of intimidating anyone on the road with its aggressiveness. The Mercedes-AMG G63 not only became wider by 1.5 inches, but was also equipped with a new exhaust system and optimized engine control unit software. As a result, the vehicle's power increased from the factory 544 horsepower to a staggering 840 horsepower. The maximum torque after tuning was limited to around 850 pound-feet. This modified Mercedes by Mansory simply exceeds expectations. You get a wild bull ready to tear to shreds anyone who dares to match it in the flow. An amazing car. Japanese tuning studio Rauwelt Begriff, known for its work on classic Porsche 911 models, presented its astonishing tuned electric car. In this project, components and parts from the Tesla Model S performance were used for the powertrain and transmission. The electric motor of this 1977 coupe develops an impressive 563 horsepower and is powered by a 32 kilowatt-hour battery with liquid cooling. The car was also externally modified with an aggressive body kit, including characteristic wheel arch extenders, new bumpers, and a spoiler on the engine cover. These changes gave it a more aggressive and stylish appearance, combining the spirit of retro with modern technology. The modification was so successful that neither the body kit nor the electric component of this project are glaringly obvious. Everything is done neatly and without any rustic touch. Under the hood of the Ford Granada, various engines have been tested, as it's one of the most innocuous cars you can find on public roads, and there's always a desire to surprise with something special. However, none of the engines from Porsche or Corvettes can compare to the V8 modular taken from the Koenigsegg CCX hypercar. It is equipped with twin turbocharging and produces more than 600 horsepower in stock. Imagine the surprise of drivers seeing a Granada starting off at a traffic light with this beast under the hood. Tesla Cybertruck only went into mass production at the end of 2023, but there are craftsmen who decided to assemble their own version much earlier. And in just a couple of days, Russian guys transformed a VeilSide 2109 into Elon Musk's creation in 8 days, and for only $1,000. Impressive! First, a steel frame was welded onto the VAZ2109 and iron sheets covered with chrome paint were laid on top. This created an exterior look very reminiscent of the real Cybertruck with its characteristic steel finish. The windows were tinted and wheels with hubcaps mimicking the Tesla logo were installed. The optics were replaced with LED elements to add more resemblance to the original. But of course, there were shortcomings. The car only had one door, and the main components and mechanisms remained from the old Lady VAZ2109. However, for relatively little money, it was a great makeover that made thousands of people smile. The story ended with the owner selling the car in 2019 for $10,000. This confirms that people are willing to pay for individuality, even if it started as a joke. As you can understand, tuning can be different. It's not always about fancy wheels and plastic spoilers. Sometimes cars are rebuilt from scratch. Thank you for watching.